It's time for yet another segment of our Q&A on dating. It's part 3. If you haven't seen part 1 or 2, make sure to go back and watch those. For the single people out there, how do you know when you're ready to be in a relationship, that you're dateable?
I mean, I think you need to know yourself and be happy with who God made you. The less secure you are in who you are, I think I worded that right. The more issues you'll have in a relationship. If you are insecure as a person and you carry those anxieties and issues into a relationship, it's going to augment those issues. And you'll have more, it will be difficult for both of you. If you're looking for your spouse to give you vision and direction for your life or significance to your life that you don't already have in the Lord, that's going to lead you into a deficiency in your relationship. So the stronger that you can be personally, and really, it's sort of cliche, but it's true. Like if you have one focus and you look over and you see another person who has the same focus, then the two of you will naturally be drawn together as you walk toward the focus. And if that focus is the Lord, that's the best thing that you can have. So I think when you begin to try to find someone else your significance, you end up really missing out on being the full potential of who you need to. In other words, weirdly, you need to focus on you. I mean, if you're not thinking through your future and your plan and how your life is being directed by the Lord, and so it's not really focused on you. It's focused on the Lord and you. How am I and the Lord going to go through life together? Because the fact of the matter is, singleness is just as valid of a lifestyle as being married. In fact, Paul says it's better as far as serving the Lord is concerned. So it shouldn't be something that we look down on and say, well, you're not married, so you're less than, whatever. You're actually better than in some ways. Spiritually, you're in a better position to serve the Lord. And so we should value that as well. In other words, you don't need to look for another person just because. You need to know who you are in Christ, and you need to live your life according to the will of God for your life. And in doing that, I believe that when the timing and it's appropriate, that if you want to get married, as Paul says, you have liberty to get married, then go get married, right? But you don't have to get married, and you don't have to find a relationship with someone else. I mean, that's maybe an option that we don't talk enough about.
Well, and like you talk about your confidence, like you have to know like where your focus is with like a relationship too, because I know a lot of the reason why you were hesitant is because you didn't know what the future was going to hold, and God gave me, I think, a supernatural confidence at 15 to know I was going to marry you. And I was really, but I at that time was secure in that, and I had no doubts and was able to pursue that. And I think that's, like he had that, the Lord gave me confidence in that.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how to word this, but, God created Adam, and then he said it's not good for man to be alone. So he created Eve not to complete Adam, because Adam was already complete in and of himself, but to be a helpmate to him. And so I think a lot of times I've heard people say this, oh, she completes me, or oh, he completes me. And I mean, I know what they're saying is that the two become one. We complement each other, but it's kind of like Jonathan was saying. I think you're possibly ready to enter into a dating relationship when you know your identity in Christ, and you know that this other person that you're praying about, and the Lord's laid it on your heart to have a marriage relationship with, that you're not trying to find someone to complete you. You're trying to find, you're praying for your helpmate, you know. And so I think when you're at that point, you know, it's a good, healthy way to enter into dating or praying about dating.
Yeah, and I love what you touched on there, prayer. I think prayer has to be a big part of it. Even if you're in a relationship, prayer needs to be a big part of every aspect of life.
You know, I was thinking about certain things that we do and what we look at that and call it. I think everything we're talking about in this is about a foundation. So whether you pray about it or whether you're talking about future plans together and making plans for that, what's that look like? Are you going to have children in the first 5 years or whatever that is? I think God gives you the time to ask the 20 questions and you sit there and go, I don't know if that person's right for me or not. We're not on the same page or we are. And, you know, it's an easy sign. He'll show you really quickly. I don't think that's right, you know. But I think he's a good daddy. I think he gives us plenty of time to go and ask all the questions, you know. I'm just grateful that we took the time to go. I would not recommend 4 years.
Yeah.
But that being said, we had some obstacles in the way that we had to work through. But that being said, I thought you were patient with me.
Yeah.
You know, you let me take my time to get there. I'm grateful.
Yeah, and going back to like what you talked about, how do you know it's the one? How I knew it was the one, and I got to that point, was time. It took me time because I needed to see loyalty. Loyalty is not something that you can know in a short period of time, and I needed to know. I needed to know that she was going to be loyal to me. You know, I was in a relationship earlier there. The person was not loyal. And it's hard to build a long-term relationship with somebody who's not loyal to you. And so that was probably the highest character trait that I was looking for in another individual. I wanted them to be loyal. I was like, we can work around everything else. I can work around anything else. I just need to know at the end of the day you got my back.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have yours. I just need to know you have mine. And so I waited because she was very eager at the beginning, you know, and I was thankful, I guess. But I was also like, we need to just temper this a little bit because I need to figure out, are you really legit? You're 15 years old. I mean, pretty sure you're not really sure what you're doing right now. So it took me a while to be convinced, but you did. You absolutely did. I just took a while to get to that point where I believed that what you were saying was not something that you were just going to switch off at some point in the future. So.
Well, thank you guys so much for all your thoughts and wisdom on dating.